Asterisk rain hammered the cracked pavement. Thunder rolled above the abandoned factory. Rusty metal doors groaned in the wind. A single bulb flickered under a broken window. Ethan Cole pressed his back against the cold brick. His clothes clung to his skin with dampness. He heard distant sirens wail through empty streets. Footsteps echoed in the dark corridor ahead. Helena's soft whimper cut through the storm. She huddled against a wooden crate, tears mixing with rain. Her breath came in quick, shallow bursts. Ethan's pulse pounded louder than the thunder. He crept closer, heart thudding in his ears. Glass crunched under his boot near the doorway. Two silhouettes blocked the beam of his flashlight. Their collars rose like shadows grazing the ceiling. Ethan hesitated for a fraction of a second. Lightning split the sky in a jagged flash. He sprinted forward, adrenaline fueling each step. A masked man spun, brandishing a knife. Ethan dodged left, gut-tight pain blossoming in his calf. He kicked a barrel, sending it clattering across the hall. The second kidnapper stumbled into the noise. Helena's gasp cut through Ethan's focus. He grabbed her arm and pulled her free. The mask slipped off one attacker in the scuffle. Pale skin, cold eyes, a face Ethan recognized. He froze, shock ripping through his spine. Helena's eyes met his in the dim light. Her lips trembled as she whispered, "Thank you." A roar of thunder masked her words. Ethan forced himself forward, dragging her away. Metal grates crowded above like broken teeth. Water dripped from exposed pipes, splashing on concrete. Footsteps chased them through the maze of hallways. Helena stumbled, fear overtaking her strength. Ethan caught her shoulder and steadied her. His jaw clenched against a dilemma he could not speak. A hidden chamber door loomed at the corridor's end. He punched the latch and shoved Helena inside. Dust swirled around their ankles like restless ghosts. She collapsed against a stack of crates. Ethan pressed himself against the entryway. The kidnappers' voices slugged through the rain. He raised his flashlight with trembling fingers. A sudden shot of lightning revealed blood on his palm. Confusion and guilt churned behind his eyes. "Ethan, let me go," Helena pleaded softly. Her voice cracked like fragile glass. He swallowed. Voice caught in his throat. A heavy boot step neared the door. Ethan's heart pounded against his ribs. He reached for Helena's trembling hand. She flinched away, eyes wide with betrayal. Silence stretched between them, thick as smoke. Another thunderclap shook the walls. The door rattled under pounding fists. Ethan's secret burned hotter than the storm. He raised his chin and steadied his breath. The latch snapped open in a spray of sparks. He squared his shoulders. Helena's chest tightened as she realized. Then, a figure in black lunged through the opening. Ethan stepped forward with a sudden, knowing smile. His voice cut through the thunder. "You have no idea what I've done." Ethan Cole lived on Maplewood Drive in suburban Atlanta. His mornings began with the hum of traffic on Peachtree Street. He brewed strong coffee in his narrow kitchen. His gray t-shirt bore a tiny, faded logo from his old Marine unit. Ethan's apartment was neat, walls lined with framed photos. One showed him in dress blues, smiling under cherry blossoms. Another captured him hiking the Smoky Mountains with friends. He framed those moments as reminders of purpose and discipline. By day, he worked as a private investigator in Midtown. His desk overflowed with case files, subpoenas, and coffee mugs. Clients came to him for lost heirs or stolen jewels. He solved puzzles with dogged focus and quiet resolve. Ethan's phone rang at odd hours: accidents, break-ins, panic calls. He treated each call as sacred. He had no time for small talk. His sister, Claire, lived in Savannah with her 2 kids. They spoke every Sunday over video chat. Claire's laugh carried warmth through the screen. She saw his loneliness and tried to set him up on dates. He politely declined. Love felt unpredictable. His trust had its limits. Ethan kept his heart locked behind a steel door. Every evening, he jogged along the Beltline Trail. Cicadas hummed in the summer heat. Street art glowed under passing headlights. He found solace in measured breath and steady pace. Yet his mind never rested. It drifted to one unsolved disappearance. A young woman vanished from a charity gala last year. Her name was Vanessa Reyes. He searched warehouses and whispered down, Dark alleys, no trace. That case still haunted him. He saw her face in every stranger's crowd. It drove him to push harder, stay late. His boss, Marlene James, noticed his obsession. She warned him, "Don't burn yourself out, Ethan." He only smiled and tightened his tie. He respected Marlene's instincts. She'd built the agency from scratch. Her silk scarves fluttered. As she paced, she carried an air of quiet command. Ethan admired her strength. Yet he feared repeating his own mistakes. He once trusted a colleague who betrayed him. The fallout cost him dearly both financially and emotionally. He never spoke of it. Claire only saw the scars it left on his eyes. "I won't fail again," he told himself each night. One Saturday morning, Ethan found a letter slipped under his door. The envelope was plain. Unmarked, his name was written in precise, looping script. He opened it with careful fingers. Inside lay a single photograph, Helena Parker, bound and bruised against a steel beam. His breath caught in his throat. He recognized the warehouse behind her, that old factory off Old Peachtree Road. Memories of the night's rescue rushed back. He stared at Helena's terrified eyes. She looked directly at him through the grainy photo. Heart hammering, Ethan dropped the letter on his desk. He paced the hardwood floor. His mind raced through clues he'd ignored. He wondered, why send this now? How did they know where he lived? Fear and anger warred in his chest. He thought of Vanessa's case. He thought of every promise he'd made to protect people. His jaw clenched. Footsteps on the stairs made him whirl around. His apartment. Door shook under a knock. Ethan froze. His pulse echoed in his ears. A voice called his name softly. He heard Claire's familiar tones. He rushed to unlock the door. Claire stepped in. Concern etched on her face. "Ethan, what's wrong?" she asked. He motioned to the letter on the desk. Her eyes widened. She reached for it, trembling. "We need help," Ethan said, voice low. Claire nodded, fear blooming in her eyes. She glanced at the framed photo of Vanessa. "I think they're connected," she whispered. Ethan's chest tightened as he realized. Someone had planned this. All along, asterisk asterisk. A second letter arrived the next morning. It slipped under Ethan's apartment door again. He held it with numb fingers. Claire hovered behind him. They shared a tense look. Ethan broke the seal. Inside lay a key and a note. The note read, "Find the truth at Dock 17. His stomach twisted. Dock 17 sat on the Chattahoochee River. It hosted rusted barges and ghost ships. Fog drifted over the water at dawn. Ethan grabbed his coat without a word. Claire followed. Voice unsteady. "What if it's a trap?" He didn't answer. They drove in silence through dew-slick streets. The radio crackled old rock music. Ethan parked under a flickering lamp. He pocketed the key. They crept toward a chain-link gate. Claire's breath came in shallow whispers. Ethan scanned the dark harbor. A lone crane loomed ahead. Its silhouette resembled a skeletal hand. He fit the key into the lock. The gate clicked open. They slipped. Inside, broken pallets lay scattered on gravel. Water lapped against a corroded hull. Ethan's heart pounded louder than the waves. Claire held his arm. He pulled her close. Moonlight revealed faded letters on a shipping container. Reyes Enterprises. His pulse stuttered. Vanessa Reyes' family name. Claire's voice trembled. "Do you think it's connected?" Ethan nodded. Jaw tight, they approached the container door. Ethan lifted the latch. It creaked in protest. He pulled the door open. Inside lay a small wooden crate. He pried it open. A single silver locket gleamed on shredded velvet. He recognized Vanessa's engraving. VR. His chest tightened. Claire gasped behind him. Then a voice echoed from the shadows, looking for answers. "Mr. Cole." Ethan spun around. A figure stepped into the lamplight. Their smile was calm. Their eyes held secrets. Ethan's blood ran cold. He realized this night would change everything. Asterisk asterisk. Ethan's jaw clenched under the flickering dock light. Claire's hand trembled against his arm. "Who are you?" Ethan demanded. The stranger's grin widened. "My name is Carter Rhodes." He stepped closer, boots echoing on metal grates. Claire flinched back. "Why bring us here?" Ethan pressed. Carter shrugged, eyes cold. "To show you the truth." He held out a manila folder. Ethan snatched it and flipped it open. Inside lay surveillance photos. One showed Helena bound in a warehouse. Another captured Vanessa walking alone at midnight. Ethan froze. The photos spanned months. Claire bit her lip. "Why show this?" she whispered. Carter's voice dropped low. "Because you're both part of the story, Mr. Cole." Ethan's heart raced. He scanned the images again. Every frame linked Helena to Vanessa. Every location tied back to Reyes Enterprises. "The kidnapper hired you first," Carter revealed. Ethan's eyes narrowed. "Prove it." Carter produced an audio recording. He played it on a small recorder. Helena's voice trembled through static. "Why are you doing this?" she cried. A deeper voice replied, cold and distant. "Because she knows too much." Ethan felt ice crawl down his spine. Carter paused the tape. "You orchestrated both kidnappings." Ethan's fist slammed into a shipping crate. Claire gasped. Carter held up a hand. "Hold your fire." He tossed more documents at Ethan's feet. Contracts, wire transfers, phone logs. They bore Ethan's signature in shaky ink. Ethan's breath halted. How he whispered. Carter's eyes flickered. "You wanted justice for Vanessa." Ethan stepped back. "How do you know that?" Carter sighed. "I've been watching." He produced a business card. It read, Rhodes Investigative Services. Claire recognized the name. "He's the local bounty hunter," she murmured. Ethan pieced it together. Carter tracked the Reyes family fortunes. He knew about Ethan's private case. He knew about Helena's kidnapping. Carter moved closer. "You hired me to scare Vanessa into talking." Ethan's vision blurred. "No." He shook his head. "It was to protect her." Carter's lips curled. "Protect? You forced her into hiding." Ethan's mind raced. He thought of every call he placed. He thought of secret meetings in parking lots. He thought of Helena's terror. Claire's voice quavered. "Ethan, what did you do?" His throat went dry. He searched Carter's face for lies. Carter dropped the recorder into Ethan's hand. "Listen again." Ethan pressed play. A distorted voice ordered Vanessa to reveal company secrets. Helena pleaded for her life. Ethan's blood ran cold. He staggered backward. Claire caught him before he fell. Carter smiled sadly. "You created the threat," he said. "Now you must end it." He turned and walked toward the exit. Rain spat against the container's steel. His footsteps faded into dripping silence. Ethan and Claire stood in the cold mist. He dropped the recorder. Claire wiped a tear. "This is bigger than we thought," she choked. Ethan nodded, voice hollow. "We need help." Claire glanced. At the river's dark surface, footsteps came from the dock entrance. A tall figure emerged. It was Helena. Her clothes were torn, eyes haunted. She stared at Ethan. "Why did you send them?" she whispered. Ethan's heart shattered. He took a step forward. Helena pressed a hand to her lips. "They're coming back." Claire glanced toward the water. A long barge drifted into view. Its deck lights pierced the fog. Silhouettes moved. Above, Helena's chest tightened as she realized. The kidnappers returned on Ethan's orders. His secret hunted them all. Claire gripped his arm. "We can't face them alone." Ethan's jaw set. He squared his shoulders. "We find an ally." Footsteps thundered on the dock. Helena dropped to one knee, trembling. Ethan gripped her shoulder. "Stay close," he ordered. He peered into the fog. "Show yourself," he shouted. A harsh laugh answered him. The barge's gangplank clanged to the dock. One by one, masked, figures emerged. Rain slicked their leather jackets. Knives glinted under the floodlight. Ethan pulled Claire and Helena back. He reached for his coat pocket. His hand closed around cold steel. He drew his service pistol. The shots fired echoing through the night. Bullets zinged off metal crates. Helena cried out. Claire pressed against Ethan's side. He fired again, steady and precise. One attacker dropped. The others hesitated. Helena scrambled to her feet. She met Ethan's gaze. His eyes held a promise. "I'll protect you." But the storm's fury raged around them. 6 enemies closed in from all sides. Ethan's voice cut through the chaos. "Keep moving." They darted toward the warehouse entrance. A masked man lunged at Ethan's flank. Ethan spun, knee crashing into the attacker's chest. The man crumpled to the ground. Claire and Helena reached the door. Ethan tossed Helena inside first. Claire followed. He slammed the door shut. Bolts slid into place with a clang. Inside, crates formed their only shelter. They huddled together, breaths ragged. Gunfire hammered the walls. Wood splintered under high-caliber rounds. Ethan pressed his ear to the door. Their attackers whispered through cracks. "We know he's in there." Helena's voice shook. "Ethan, I trusted you." He closed his eyes. His choice had unleashed this nightmare. Claire reached for his hand. "We'll fix this," she insisted gently. Ethan inhaled deeply. He met Helena's tear-filled eyes. "Stay hidden," he whispered. He pressed his back to the door. Rain slashed under the broken windows. Sirens wailed in the distance. Reinforcements. Or just more hunters. Ethan glanced at the crates. Each one held another secret. Each one could break them. He gripped the pistol tighter. His breath steadied. He vowed, "This ends tonight." Asterisk, asterisk. Dawn light filtered through cracked windows. Dust motes floated in the air. Ethan led Claire and Helena into a back hall. Wooden beams formed an impromptu gym. Old tires lay stacked in a corner. A punching bag hung from a rusted beam. Claire's eyes widened. "This is where he trains?" she asked softly. Helena nodded, voice barely above a whisper. "He taught me to fight." Ethan set the bag swinging. Its leather cracked against silent walls. He turned to Helena. "Show her how." Helena lowered her fists. She touched her bruised jaw. Pain flickered across her face. Ethan offered a water bottle. Claire took a hesitant sip. Helena squared her stance. "Punch like you mean it." Claire raised her fist. Her knuckles trembled. Helena guided her arm. "Use your hips." Claire shifted weight, striking the bag. It swung back with force. She stumbled. Breathing ragged, Helena caught her arm. Again, Claire struck again, firmer this time. A flicker of confidence lit her eyes. Ethan ran through basic drills, shadowboxing in slow, precise motions. Claire mimicked each move. Her steps grew surer. Helena watched with silent approval. After an hour, Claire's arms shook. Ethan stopped her. "Good." She exhaled, sweat beading at her brow. Helena stepped forward. "Now with me." They faced off at opposite ends. Ethan showed Claire how to block. Claire parried softly. Helena advanced. One jab Claire blocked. One cross Claire dodged. Her heart thundered. She struck back, grazing Helena's shoulder. Helena's eyes widened. "Nice." Claire allowed herself a small smile. Ethan nodded in approval. He clapped once. "Progress." Helena turned. To Ethan. "He needs this too." She gestured at Ethan's coat pocket. He produced a small handgun. Claire swallowed. Helena took it. "Learn to shoot." They stepped into a side room. Bullet holes marked wooden targets. Ethan loaded a magazine. He handed Claire the weapon. Her fingers trembled on the grip. "Aim for the center," Ethan said. Claire raised the gun. She closed one eye. The first shot rang out. It missed high. Claire's shoulders slumped. Ethan moved beside her. "Breathe." She inhaled deeply. Second shot hit the target. A clean circle around the bull's eye. Claire's eyes lit with surprise. Helena smiled. "You've got it." Ethan glanced at Helena. She nodded. "Your turn." He took the weapon. His hands were steady. He fired 3 rounds. All landed tight in the center. He lowered the gun. A flicker of pride touched his eyes. Helena stepped forward. She took a ragged breath. "My father taught me." Her voice trembled. Ethan watched her. He saw strength behind pain. Claire noticed. Too, Helena's shoulders squared. She offered the gun back to Ethan. He declined. Next, escape drills. He led them through the hallways. They crawled under barriers. They slipped through narrow openings. Claire banged her shin. Helena paused to check her. "You okay?" Claire nodded, rubbing her leg. They ran down the corridor. Ethan timed their sprints. He barked commands. "Left turn." "Behind me." They followed his lead. Breath came in hot pants. Their blood thrummed with urgency. At the end, Ethan pressed a hand to their shoulders. "Remember this. You'll need it." He stepped back. Fog drifted through broken windows. Helena brushed dust from her coat. Claire glanced at Ethan. "Who else can help?" Ethan closed his eyes. He thought of Marlene. She owed him favors. He thought of an old Marine brother. He thought of every connection he'd made. His voice came soft. "We recruit allies." Claire took a steadying breath. Helena met Ethan's gaze. Her lips curved slightly upward. They had strength now, but the night's shadows still lingered. Ethan squared his shoulders. He drew a sharp breath. Tonight, we strike back. Rain began to patter outside. The world felt alive with possibility. Claire's chest tightened as she realized she wasn't just a victim anymore. She was part of something bigger. Night fell like a velvet cloak over Atlanta. Ethan parked 2 blocks from the warehouse. Claire and Helena followed in his brother Mason's SUV. Mason Cole, former Marine sharpshooter, sat in the driver's seat. His square jaw and calm eyes reassured Ethan. "Ready?" Mason asked. Voice low, Ethan nodded. "Let's move." They slipped into the loading dock under cover of darkness. Inside, crates formed a maze of shadows. Claire's heart thundered. Helena led with cautious steps. Mason covered their rear with silent focus. Ethan's earpiece crackled. A voice hissed, "Target is here." It was Carter Rhodes. His tone held a bitter edge. Ethan's blood chilled. Carter stepped from behind a stack of pallets. He held a pistol. In one hand, his eyes burned with fury. "Traitor!" Carter spat at Ethan. Claire gasped. "Why are you here?" Ethan demanded. Carter sneered. "I cleaned up after you once. Now I finish what you started." He raised his gun. Mason reacted fast. He fired a warning shot into the ceiling. Concussion rocked the room. Dust rained. Down on them, Helena dove behind a crate. Claire froze, terror blooming. Ethan stepped in front of Carter. "Don't make this worse." Carter's jaw clenched. "I'm here for the truth." Ethan's hand hovered near his pistol. "Truth?" Carter nodded. He tossed a flash drive at Ethan's feet. "Everything's on there." Claire crouched beside the drive. She picked it up. Her fingers shook. Ethan flipped it open. He scanned file names. Reyes_accounts, backdoor_deals, Ethan_case_notes. His breath hitched. "Why show me this?" he asked. Carter's eyes glistened. "Because you're as guilty as I am." Ethan's pulse pounded. He realized Carter kept silent to gather proof. He had planned this betrayal all along. A soft click echoed behind them. Claire turned. Helena raised her weapon. A masked figure stood at the far end. Ethan's heart sank. It was Marlene James, his boss. Her silk scarf was gone. She gripped a pistol, tears in her eyes. "Ethan," she whispered. He lowered his voice. "Marlene, please." Claire's eyes widened. "You set us up," Claire accused. Marlene's lips trembled. "I had no choice." She fired a shot at Carter. The bullet ripped through his shoulder. He roared in pain. Mason dove for cover, returning fire. Helena lunged toward Carter's fallen body. Ethan turned to Marlene. "Why?" She aimed the gun at his chest. His breath froze. "Reyes paid me," she confessed, voice breaking. Claire staggered back. Marlene's tears fell onto her revolver. "She threatened my brother." Ethan's mind raced. He remembered Marlene's brother in rehab. He understood her choice, but betrayal stung sharper than any bullet. Before Ethan could reply, Carter fired back. His shot hit the wall beside Marlene's head. She collapsed behind a crate, clutching her shoulder. Helena rushed to her side. Claire grabbed Ethan's arm. "They're all turning on each other." Claire murmured. Ethan's jaw set. He caught Carter's bloodied gaze. Carter lay bleeding, pistol aimed at them. The flash drive lay on gravel between them. Ethan's mind spun. He could end this right now. He could seize control. He could protect Claire and Helena. He could stop the lies. But the storm of betrayal left him shaken. He inhaled deeply. Then he spoke. Voice firm, "Drop your guns." Silence swallowed the dock. Claire and Helena watched, breaths held. Carter's pistol clattered to the floor. Marlene let hers fall too. Mason unclipped his rifle. All stood motionless. Ethan stepped forward. He retrieved the flash drive. He pocketed it. He met Marlene's tear-streaked face. "I'll fix this," he promised. Her shoulders shook with relief. He turned to Carter. "Why help me?" he asked quietly. Carter's grin was thin. "Revenge is a lonely road." He coughed, blood at his lips. Ethan knelt beside him. Carter spat, voice hoarse. "I hated you for using me." Ethan offered water. Carter drank, then smiled sadly. "Make it right, Cole." Carter's eyes closed. His body went limp. Mason checked his pulse. Gone. Claire covered her face. Helena pressed against Ethan's side. He held her close. Rain began to patter on the roof. Ethan's chest tightened as he realized the greatest betrayal came from inside. ***. Ethan led them out a side door into a narrow alley. Rain slicked the bricks under their feet. Claire stumbled on a loose stone. Helena caught her arm. Ethan glanced back at the warehouse. Floodlights roared to life above the dock. Marlene's voice crackled in his earpiece. "They're sending reinforcements." He pressed a finger to his lips. "Stay close." They ducked behind dumpsters. Steel doors slammed open ahead. Masked figures poured into the alley. Ethan gripped his pistol. His knuckles went white. Claire swallowed hard. Helena's jaw clenched. Mason crouched beside Ethan. He flicked off safety on his rifle. They advanced as one unit. The first guard raised a shotgun. Mason fired without hesitation. The man dropped, shotgun clattering. Rain hissed on hot barrel metal. Another guard hopped over a fence. Ethan met him with two precise shots. The guard yelped and went down. Claire covered Helena's back. She fired 3 rounds. One attacker faltered. Helena tackled him to the ground. She tore off his mask. It revealed a young man's terrified face. She hesitated. His eyes pleaded. Ethan motioned forward. They moved past him into the street. Helena's breath came in rapid pants. Claire turned her face to the rain. Marlene's voice came again. "They're splitting up." Ethan narrowed his eyes. He pointed down a side street. "They'll try to circle behind us." They jumped into Mason's SUV. Ethan slammed the door. Mason gunned the engine. Tires squealed on wet asphalt. They barreled toward downtown Atlanta. Headlights cut through the dark. Behind them, headlights followed. Ethan peered in the rearview mirror. At least 4 cars chased them. He reached across seats. He tapped the GPS screen. He found a shortcut through back roads. Mason turned sharply. Onto a narrow lane. Bullets pounded the side panels. Claire ducked low. Helena gripped Ethan's arm. His coat sleeve was torn. He winced at the cut on his forearm. He ignored the pain. He spotted an upcoming bridge. He flicked a switch on the dash. Mason hit the accelerator. They plunged onto the bridge. The chase intensified. Cars closed ranks behind them. Ethan's mind raced. He eyed each exit ramp. None felt safe. A highway patrol cruiser drove past in the opposite direction. Ethan inhaled. He pointed. "There." Mason swung across lanes. They crossed the median grate. Claire gasped as oncoming traffic flashed past. Helena held her breath. On the far side, a deserted rest stop appeared. They skidded into the parking lot. Masonry tires screeched to a halt. Ethan and Helena jumped out. Claire followed, still rattled. Mason stayed in the driver's seat. He revved the engine. Ethan checked the rest stop. Only a convenience store stood under dim lights. He dashed inside. The clerk raised his hands. Ethan spoke quickly. "Call 911. Multiple armed men are chasing. U.S." The clerk's eyes widened. He dialed. Ethan scanned the store for weapons. He found a baseball bat near the door. He grabbed it. Helena took a wrench from a tool rack. They jogged back outside. Claire stayed close behind. Rain blurred their vision. Spotlights swept the lot. They heard engines roar. The pursuers arrived 2 cars deep. Ethan planted his feet. He raised the bat. Claire grabbed Helena's wrench. Mason revved the engine, ready to ram. Spotlights traced their forms. A door burst open on the first car. 3 men jumped out. They aimed pistols. Ethan swung the bat. It struck one gun hard. The weapon flew from his hand. Claire rushed the second man. She struck him with the wrench. He staggered back. Helena tackled the third. The men fired wildly. Bullets kicked up gravel. One shot shattered glass on the store window. Ethan charged. He felled the first with a single blow. He spun into the second. His shoulder slammed into the attacker's chest. The man grunted and collapsed. Helena held her breath. Claire stood over her downed foe. Mason pulled his car round. He aimed the bumper at the last man. With a roar, he rammed. The attacker flew through the air onto the hood. He slid off onto the asphalt. Silence fell under pounding rain. Claire exhaled shakily. Helena dropped the wrench. Their breaths formed. Missed. Ethan pocketed the bat. He scanned the lot. No other pursuers showed themselves. Siren wails echoed in the distance. Ethan raised his hand. Call off the chase. Mason shut off the engine. They exchanged relieved glances. Helena met Ethan's eyes. His chest tightened as he realized they had survived the night. But the real escape still lay ahead. Morning light warmed the pavement at the rest stop. Red and blue lights danced on asphalt. Police and EMTs flooded the scene. Mason talked rapidly with officers. Claire explained the chase in clipped sentences. Helena sat wrapped in a blanket. Ethan stood beside her, silent and steady. Detectives photographed the battered cars. Officer Ramirez approached Ethan. "I'll need your statement," he said kindly. Ethan nodded, voice calm. He described the threats and betrayals. He handed over the flash drive. Detectives loaded it onto a secure laptop. Marlene arrived in a patrol car. She rushed to Ethan's side. Tears shone on her cheeks. "I'm sorry," she murmured. Ethan offered a gentle nod. Her brother's safety was settled. Claire hugged Marlene quietly. Helena joined them, soft support. Detectives confirmed Reyes Enterprises executives were implicated. Vanessa's disappearance and Helena's kidnapping linked to illegal deals. Reyes lawyers agreed to cooperate. Charges were filed and arrests followed. Ethan watched the dawn sky clear. He felt weight lift from his shoulders. Claire slipped her hand into his. Helena smiled faintly. Masonry sunlight broke through clouds. They walked to Mason's SUV together. Marlene fell into step beside them. Ethan glanced at each face. He realized they were family now. At Ethan's apartment later, Claire brewed coffee again. Helena arranged fresh flowers on the table. Marlene examined the photo of Vanessa. She traced the initials on the locket. Ethan sat quietly, reflecting. His sleepless nights felt distant now. Claire stirred her cup thoughtfully. "We did it," she said softly. Helena lifted her locket to the light. "It's time to start over," she whispered. Ethan reached across the table. He squeezed Claire's hand warmly. Outside, maple leaves fluttered in a gentle breeze. Sunlight painted golden streaks on the walls. Ethan drew a breath of hope. A new day awaited them all. ***.